365 books. The team of voices behind your daily clarity.
Welcome to 365 Books, where timeless wisdom meets modern life. Each episode, we explore ideas that sharpen your mind, open your heart, and help you live with greater clarity. Hey, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more daily insights. All right, today we're tackling a big one, Essentialism. You can think of it as a system, a mindset for focusing on what truly, deeply matters. It's all about making that shift from just being busy to being genuinely effective. So, let's dive right in. Let's start with a question, one that probably hits a little too close to home for a lot of us. Do you ever get to the end of a frantic day, look back and think, I was running around all day, but what did I actually get done? You know, that feeling of being on a hamster wheel.
With that feeling really boils down to this fundamental difference in how we use our energy. You see the non-essentialists on the left? All their effort is scattered, right? They make a tiny bit of progress in a million different directions. But the essentialist? They take that same amount of energy and funnel it into just a few critical things, which allows them to make huge leaps forward.
So, before we get to the solution, we've got to really understand the problem. Let's talk about what's known as the non-essentialist trap, because it's so easy to fall into. Now, as we go through this list, just see how much of it resonates. Being overcommitted, saying yes to things you know you shouldn't, constantly reacting to whatever is loudest instead of designing your day. And that last one is the real kicker. Feeling busy but totally underutilized because your best energy is just spread way too thin. This is the default mode for so many people. Okay, so here's the kicker. The way out of this trap. It isn't some new productivity hack or a fancier calendar app. The real antidote is a complete shift in your mindset. We're not talking about time management anymore, we're talking about decision management.
And that antidote, that mindset, it's called essentialism. And look, the idea is deceptively simple. It's the disciplined pursuit of less, but better. It's not about doing more, it's about doing only the right things so you can pour yourself into the work that truly matters.
And that leads us to this quote from Greg McKeown, which is, well, it's kind of a gut punch, in a good way. If you don't prioritize your life, someone else will. Think about that. If you don't choose where your energy goes, the world will happily choose for you. Your boss, your clients, social media, they all have an agenda for your time. So where do you even start? How do you actually do that? It all begins with your own language. Just this one tiny shift in your internal monologue, from saying, I have to do this, to I choose to do this. It changes everything. It puts you right back in the driver's seat.
Okay, so this sounds good in theory, right? But how does it actually work in the real world? Well, it boils down to a super clear three-part framework: explore, eliminate, and execute.
It's a process. First, you take the time to explore your options, to really figure out what's truly essential versus all the noise. Next, and this is the hard part, you have to ruthlessly eliminate the things that don't make the cut. And finally, you execute by building systems that make doing the important stuff almost effortless. So when you're in that first step, exploring, here's an amazing little rule of thumb to use. It's called the 90% rule. When you're looking at an opportunity, grade it on a scale of 0 to 100. If it's not a 90 or above, if it's not a clear wow, then you have to treat it as a 0. No more 60s or 70s. This alone will save you from a life filled with pretty good commitments.
And for that second step, eliminating, there's another great filter. It's a little more energetic. If it isn't a clear hell yes, then it's a no. It's about getting rid of the I guess I should, and only making room for the things you're genuinely passionate about.
Now for the final piece, execution. And this is where it gets really interesting, because it's not about hustling harder or grinding 24/7. It's about protecting your number one asset, which is you. Things like sleep, rest, and building empty space into your calendar, they aren't weak. They are strategic tools for peak performance.
All right, let's put it all together now. Let's look at these two paths side by side, because it really shows you the two completely different lives they lead to.
This table just lays it all out, doesn't it? On one side, you're just reacting, saying yes automatically, feeling totally out of control. But on the other, you're deliberate. You pause, you focus, and the result is this incredible sense of clarity and control over your own life. And if you want a visual for this, here it is. It's so powerful. Look at the scattered energy on the left. Now look at the focused energy on the right. It's the exact same amount of energy, but the results, they're not even in the same league. One leads to inches of progress, the other leads to breakthroughs.
So after all this, what's the big payoff? Why go through the trouble of being more disciplined? What's really in it for you?
And this is super important to get. This isn't just about doing less to be lazy or to have an empty calendar. That's not the point. The point is to free up your precious time and energy so you can invest them where you can make your absolute highest contribution. And when you really live this way, the results are pretty profound. It's not just about getting more done. It's about having more meaning in your life, feeling less stressed and burned out, and knowing that you're making a real impact on the things that matter most.
And all of this brings us back to one single, powerful question. And honestly, it's the only one that really matters. It's not something I can answer for you, it's something you have to answer for yourself. What is truly essential to you?
For summaries, reflections, and daily practices, visit 365books.app and keep learning with us.
365 books. The team of voices behind your daily clarity.